Hello there YouTube, it's Jacob from Team Pyramid. So today I want to show you my updated version of my Cyberse deck profile. So you guys have already seen the original deck profile, however I have made some tweaks and made it a little bit more competitive. So let's get into this now. I really like the deck. I think it's quite quirky and quite fun, and it does a lot of special summoning. We start things off, we run obviously our Playmaker of the deck, we run our 3 Balancer Lords. So Balancer Lord lets you go ahead and pay 1,000 life points, and you get to do a second summon that phase. You can obviously banish this card as well, and you get the effect special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your deck, which is really good. Then we have our Bootstagger. So I run 3 Bootstaggers. So reason for this being is it's another special summon. And this card as well, when it's special summoned, when it attacks and deals damage to your opponent, you get to go ahead and get a token, a Stagger token, special summon to your side of the field, which is really good because it means it's extra fodder there for links, for your link summoning, which is really good. It's 2300 as well, so for a special summon that's free, that's incredible. Then we run 3 of our Draconet. So you've all seen the original starter deck, which brought out Decode Talker and the starter Master Rule 4. However, I run 3 of these because it lets you go ahead and special summon 1 level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck in defense position. So this works really well with the next 2. Obviously, I run 2 Bitron and 2 Digitron. So reason why I run 2 and 2 is honestly, because I'm running 3 of the actual Draconet itself, I don't want it to not be live when I get Draconet. So that's the reason why I run it. My favourite though is Bitron. Gotta love it. Then I run 2 of the Link Slayer. So Link Slayer is, in my opinion, a better Cyber Dragon. So this card, you get to normal summon it. When you get to go ahead, if you control no monsters, if you control no monsters, you get to special summon this card straight away. And then obviously, if you can discard up to 2 cards from your hand and destroy 2 spell or trap cards on the field. So it don't even have to be your opponent's; it could be yours if you want to trigger off effects or anything like that. So it's really good. I then run 2 backup secretaries. So this card gets a special summon itself when you control a Cyberse monster. However, you can only use its effect to summon it that way once per turn. It is a level 3. Its stats are pretty meh. However, it is a special summon, so that way you can go into links. So like I said, I love the fact that this deck just special summons from nowhere. I also run 2 salvage drivers. I can't pronounce it. Basically, when a Cyberse Link monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you get to special summon it. Except during the damage step, obviously. You can special summon this card. You can then discard 1 spell card, target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, and special summon it as well. But it cannot attack directly that turn. So once your Link monster's gone to the grave, you get that out. And then you discard a spell card and you get the Link monster back, as long as it's a Cyberse one. So that's really good. It's recycling itself. We then run our ROMs and our RAM. So I run 2 ROM Clouders and 1 RAM Clouder. RAM Clouder so triggers quite well with ROM Clouder itself. So ROM Clouder, when this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, except ROM Clouder. Add it to your hand. You can if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster, except. So that's really good. So what I'd do is, normally if that's in the graveyard already, I get to go ahead, get it back to hand, normal, boom, done. That way you get your RAM Clouders effect as well. So that way you contribute this card, target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So it's a monster reborn for the deck. It really is. Then for our one-ofs, I run 1 Dot Scraper and 1 Stack Reviver. Reason why I only run Dot Scraper. Dot Scraper's effects can only be used once per duel. That's once per duel, not once per turn, once per duel. And the same as Stack Reviver, once per duel. So you don't want to see multiples of them. They're nice, they come in handy when they're there, but if you don't get them, you don't get them. It's not really something you're going to miss. But that's it for the monsters. Off to the spells. I run 3 Cynet backdoors. So I run 3 Cynet backdoors because this card is incredibly broken. This card, when you go ahead and you can go ahead and like activate it, you banish your Cyberse type monster, and then add 1 Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand whose attack is lower than that monster that you just banished. During your next standby phase, return that monster banished by this card effect, and add it to, and that card can attack directly. You can only activate one of these once per turn, but that's okay for an effect like that. It's a searcher, it's a reinforcement to the army, and it gives your monster the ability to attack directly, which is incredible. Then probably one of the most broken spell cards that they've brought back, Mind Control. I'm running 3 of them. Like I said, like to steal my opponent's card so I can special summon as much as I can. And if it means I'm stealing your Link monster and getting to special summon mine with it, I'm all for that. I then run 3 Cosmic Cyclones, and it's there for the Pendulum Magician matchups, also the True Draco matchups. It gets rid of like cards that are problematic. Not really many decks are running back row clearance at the moment, so it is nice to have in there. I then run 2 Pot of Desires. I don't run more than 2 in this deck because, in all honesty, you don't want to banish that many cards. You really don't. You want to be able to keep your resources so you can continuously special summon to continuously get out your Link monsters. But it does come in handy when you need it. I then run 2 Scapegoat. So Scapegoat, say no. You really have to say no more about Scapegoat. Really can see it being hit on the next ban list, at least put down to limited. The fact it just lets you go into your rank 4s, it lets you go into literally any links you want. It's job done. Then for the one-ofs, I run 1 Soul Charge, 1 Foolish Burial, and another card I can't believe Konami brought back, 1 Monster Reborn. So that's it for the main deck. The main deck, it is up to personal preference. I like the ratios I've put in here. I've done a lot of testing with it. I think it's fun. But let's get off to the extra deck. So, to start things off, I run 1 Topological Bomber Dragon. So, Topological Bomber Dragon is your board clearer. You get it out, you special summon to a zone this card points to, it nukes the field. Both players' fields, just nukes them all. It is your board clearer, it's a 3000 attack. It hits over stuff, it's a heavy hitter. I like it, I do like it a lot, which is why I run it. I then run 1 Decode Talker. So I only run 1 Decode Talker because I just don't feel like you necessarily need to go into it that much with this deck. But it's always good in handy, especially with its effect where it gets powered up. And obviously if any of your cards are targeted, you just go ahead and pop one of your cards that its card points to, and then get over it from there. Then I run 2 Trigate Wizards. So for the fact that this card, when it gets like co-linked, lets you go ahead and get different effects depending on the amount of monsters it's co-linked to. I love that. I love the idea of where you have to think of where the arrows are pointing, where they have to all link up. Love everything about it. And that's the reason why I run 2 Encode Talkers. I just like the way the arrows point on this card. For the fact of, obviously, if you're going in to do the play where you're locking your opponent out, where you can do that with this deck and the way I've built it. If you want to go ahead and do that, then it is a possibility. That's why I like the arrows where it sits on this. I then run 1 Proxy Dragon. I then run 2 Honeybots. These two, basically, they're more or less, they're very similar in all honesty. They both stop destruction. They both stop your cards from being destroyed. However, Proxy Dragon is probably the more generic one to go into. Then run 2 backup backup sorcerers. Sorry, I should say. Backup sorcerer has the effects where it gets co-linked again. Like I said, I love that, and it's really good, especially with the fact of balancing it out with like your Trigate Wizard, your Encode Talker, your Topological Bomber Dragon. If you need it there, it's there. I then run 2 Link Spiders. Obviously, I'm playing 4 vanillas in the deck. You want to be able to get your links out. I then run 1 Flame Administrator. So, Flame Administrator, all link monsters you control gain 800 attack, and you can only use the effect of 1 Flame Administrator, which is really, to be fair, it's pretty good. All your link monsters are getting a boost. It's a generic link 2 for this deck, for a Cyberse deck. I like it. It gives your air monsters an extra power boost. Then, finally, I run 1 Recovery Sorcerer. So, Recovery Sorcerer, it's a quick effect. You can target 1 Cyberse link monster in your graveyard that was destroyed this turn and special summon it, which is really good. But it has its effects negated. Also, destroy it during the end phase. It's never really good to destroy, which is why you always go into your main phase 2, and you get that out, you get your extra monster out, and then you go into a different rank, to go into a different link from there. So it gives you extra plays from that. So that's it for the main deck entirely. That's it for the main and the extra deck. What I will do is I will show you my side deck. Obviously, side deck's up to personal preference. Side deck is completely your choice and what you're facing. I run 1 Ash Blossom and 2 Ghost Ogres. So this is the hand trap for this deck. Like I said, I run 1 Stack Reviver and 1 Dot Scoper. I barely see them. So if I wanted to put hand traps in, I'd go into these. I then run 1 Reasoning. Your levels in this deck are all over the place. Your opponent's never going to guess your level right, which means you get to go ahead and get your special summon. I then run 3 Twin Twisters. Galaxy Cyclone is good, but if you need to get rid of mass clearance, Twin Twister is your one. I then run 2 board clearance. I run 2 Torrential Tribute. That's better. That platinum rare one didn't show up very well on the camera there. But no, I run 2 Torrential Tributes. It gets rid of problems. It really does. I then run 3 Dimensional Barriers. Dimensional Barriers, Pendulum, along with these next 2. Pendulum. Shuts down Pendulum with Anti-Spell Fragrance as well. And then, just in case I run into any Paleo, I have 1 Royal Decree in there as well. I hate Paleo deck, really, really do. I was thinking of throwing Denko Sekka in here as well, just to in the side deck, just to stop Paleo, but I thought that was a bit overkill. But that's it for the deck itself. I hope you like the deck. As always, I just want to thank you very much, obviously, for taking your time to watch my videos. It really does mean a lot to me, and it really means a lot to me, you guys taking the time to comment and let me know what you think of the decks. If you wouldn't mind, if you like the video, please hitting that thumbs up button, subscribe and share the video. It just helps the channel grow, and it helps get the channel to where I want it to get. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you want to see any deck profiles, let me know. If you want to see any packs opened, let me know. And stay tuned for much more Yu-Gi-Oh fun. Thank you very much, YouTube. Bye-bye.